Next up at UFC 289, we have the main card opener. Marc-Andre Barriault taking on Eryk Anders. Marc-Andre Barriault, 15-6 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. He is alternating wins and losses, and he's taking on the very tough, very athletic Eryk Anders, 15-7 overall, 2-1 in his last 5. And he's coming off that win over Kyle Dawkins where he basically beat him out of the UFC. It's an interesting matchup. Eryk Anders, he's an athlete. That's really his what's his style? His style is athlete.
College football player.
Bama.
College football player. Baby. Roll Tide.
He can wrestle. He played football. He played multiple sports at a high level. He can strike. He's competed at multiple sports his entire life, and he's just athletic. And you can see it out there. He mixes his punches and his kicks together really well. His speed is actually, for a high-level athlete like that, he's not the fastest striker in the world, but you can tell how powerful he is, and he's always where he's like supposed to be. Something happens, boom, he's there. He's chasing things down. He's getting it done. He does keep his hands a little too low, which has gotten him in some trouble in the past, but his path to victory in most fights is wrestling. Come forward, wrestle hard, take people down, keep them there, beat them up, and he looks to hurt you literally everywhere. If you're in a scramble, he's going to punch you in the face. If you're standing, he's going to no matter what position he's in, he is looking to hurt you. And he's a tough guy to fight and a tough outing because of that. He's taking on Marc-Andre. Marc-Andre's a pretty well-rounded guy. He's got solid kickboxing, solid takedown, solid jiu-jitsu. He's typically looking to pressure forward, wear you down on your feet. He does have impressive striking volume. He's landing almost 6 significant strikes per minute, but he also is hit with more than 5. He is coming off that win over Julian Marquez. A lot of people thought he was going to win that fight, but not like that. He landed about 200
There were some people that were pretty high on Julian Marquez.
Yeah, and Marc-Andre whooped his ass.
Well, he lost the first round, so.
And then finished him.
It seemed like because that was at UFC 285. I was actually at the fights. That was actually a card where Tabitha Ricci and Amanda Hebos were both on that card. I watched Tabitha Ricci look fantastic, got the big win, and then Amanda Hebos came out, got the big win. I actually met. I don't know if you saw the picture back here, but I actually had a nice conversation with Amanda. They were actually both fighting at UFC Jacksonville. So I got to figure out how to get to UFC Jacksonville and maybe make it like a split shirt, because here's the shirt I was wearing. It still smells like Amanda a little bit. So I might do like a little split action where it's like Amanda on one side, Tabitha on the other.
I muted you. I muted you. I got to keep going. I'm going with Eryk Anders in this fight. I think he can out-athlete. I think he can outwork. I think he can stay in Marc-Andre's face. I think he can get it done. But ignore the pick. Let's put the pick aside. We'll take the pick out of there. And let's talk about the bet. I just talked about that Chris Curtis bet. I did inside the distance decision, no action with Chris Curtis. I got the same thing with Eryk Anders. I think Eryk Anders wins inside the distance. Can win inside the distance. And I think he's tough enough to survive. I got him at minus 105. I'm actually more confident in the Chris Curtis one, and those odds are better. But half a unit on Eryk Anders, win inside the distance decision, no action. I do think he can win this fight. But Marc-Andre can certainly outwork him, out-technique him, and just win a decision. But I don't see Marc-Andre winning a stoppage here, so I'm going to take that chance with Eryk getting it done. Jakey boy, you're unmuted. What do you think?
Your pick is Eryk Anders, is that what you said?
It is Eryk, but... The pick is Marc-Andre, but the bet is Eryk. I think Marc-Andre is going to outwork, out-technique, but the bet is on Eryk win inside the distance decision, no action.
This is one of those fights where I cannot believe the line movement that happened on this fight. Do you know what the odds are right now on this fight? I mean, Marc-Andre has moved to a minus 124. It is getting close to a pick'em fight, and I can't believe that. And I am on the very, very biased side of I think Marc-Andre is not that good a fighter. I've picked against him twice for my lock of the week, which I don't think I've picked against somebody twice before, and both times he's beat my lock of the week. I picked Jordan Wright versus him because I thought Jordan Wright could out-wrestle him. Jordan Wright was having good success, and all of a sudden Marc-Andre finds this weird guillotine. Marc-Andre fights Julian Marquez. He's losing the first round, close first round, but he's losing the first round, and then all of a sudden just turns up the pace, turns up the pressure. Like I said, I was at the fights, and I was like, this guy, if he keeps throwing with this power, with this pressure and this volume, he's going to wear himself out. I mean, he was just and I was like getting excited because I'm like, oh my God, he's going to gas, and then Julian Marquez is going to knock this guy out. didn't gas at all. Lived up to the power bar nickname and finished my lock of the week, Julian Marquez. And I kind of see the same thing happening here. You mentioned Eryk Anders. He does kind of have power. He's a power striker, but I just don't see the power a lot of times. And he's an incredible athlete, but he just looks a little bit stiff inside the octagon. It looks like there's a lot of thinking involved. In my mind, for him to win this fight, I think he needs to wrestle. I think he needs to slow the pace down, almost kind of hold, Marc-Andre against the fence and just kind of very methodically, slowly win rounds and win this fight. And I just don't think that he's going to have the endurance to be able to hold Marc-Andre against the fence for 2 complete rounds to be able to win this decision. I think Marc-Andre can do what he does. He might get pressed against the fence. He might be backing up a little bit early, but the second he starts finding his range, starts finding his pressure, he's going to turn up the pace. He's going to turn up the pressure. He's going to turn up the volume. He's going to turn this fight around. I think he can even find a finish, late second into the third round with that crazy, crazy volume against a guy like Eryk Anders. Because both these guys, I think, are well-rounded. I think they're both, decent fighters. Neither one of these guys is like a championship level guy. But in my mind, I think Marc-Andre just is a kind of a little bit of a better fighter, and he definitely is going to have the volume to get this done. So I'm actually pretty high on Marc-Andre in this fight. I was thinking about taking him at like minus, whatever, but I might if it keeps moving. What are we doing here?
I dropped. Go ahead. My contacts are dry. What's happening? Go.
If this keeps moving,
why'd that mess you up so bad?
Jesus Christ! You just like I look at holy shit! Look at this guy. But if this keeps moving, I'm gonna wait and see if this moves to if they think that they're gonna put Eryk Anders as the favorite in this fight. I'll jump all over that Marc-Andre line. I think it's already a good line where it's at right now, minus 124.
Yeah, I think I agree with. I think Marc-Andre can win a decision here. I absolutely think he can win a decision. I don't think he's going to finish Eryk Anders. Eryk Anders is a tough dude. He's not Julian Marquez, meaning he's not just going to stand there. Like, he's a tough guy. He will, like, Julian Marquez relies on his striking, relies on his chin. Eryk Anders will wrestle. Yeah, he'll get a little tired, but he's still athletic. He'll still bomb away. He'll still make stuff happen. So I think, at the very least, I think Eryk Anders can survive, which is why I placed that bet. The bet is he wins by finish or survives, and I think he can survive. And everybody in the chat talking about, Marc-Andre's a lock. He's going to knock out for sure. Then I hope you bet the shit out of that. I hope you bet the shit out of that. That's good money. Marc-Andre inside the distance is decent odds. I hope you bet the shit out of that then.
I think he's good for this fight, but overall, there's a reason I picked against him for lock of the week twice. I don't think that guy's very good, but this is a good matchup for him.
I agree.
And I don't like the way that Eryk Anders kind of looks at the camera, too. He's kind of a mystic look to him right now. He's
dead in the eyes, baby. Come forward, make something happen.
Marc-Andre looks like he's holding a fart. Is that how you hold a fart? You probably can't hold those back anymore. Not at your age. Those things just free flowing, baby.
Too loose. $7,800, $8,400. You spend that $84. You think you can win by finish?
I think he can. I don't think there's a high likelihood. So and I don't think he's very good anyway. So no thanks. I'd rather have what was the last fight where it was like $8,200, $8,300? What was the?
Yeah.
Oh, Chris Curtis's. Oh no, Chris Curtis is like 78 or something like that.
Yeah.
I'd rather have him than either one of these guys.
Yeah, I hear you. Again, super tricky week. Only 11 fights, only 22 fighters to pick from. So it's not going to be the easiest card to figure out with DraftKings. But we do have a full DraftKings optimized. We have a DraftKings cheat sheet. The cheat sheet will give you all the information you need right in front of you. You're going to get the ownership projections, the scoring projections, and the leverage. Leverage is a proprietary number. We've got a kid behind the scenes named Josh, bangs out stats. He's a data analyst.
Disrespectful.
He is a kid. He's young. It's not Josh, the website, Josh.
I know. I understand.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did, but he's not a kid. You're talking about a kid like some 13-year-old just driving the data behind our website. That's a kid. Let's show some fucking respect to our employees. Can we get HR on the line?
Yeah, it's Tiffany. You want to go to HR?
Let's move on.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He's going to come up with a proprietary leverage calculation. It's a score. It's a number. You take that, and it'll help you find your spots. And basically the leverage is saying this guy should do well. He's not going to be very highly owned. You could separate yourself from the pack. With this pick, everything you've ever need to try to build yourself a winning lineup. WeOwnPicks.com, $10 a month, and we've got the tickets to prove it. People tweeting us $78,000, $13,000, $50,000, $60,000 lineups from
Hollywood
premium
Mitch.
members. From premium members saying thanks for the stuff. We on Picks.com $10 a month.